Guys, there is a massive warning. There are spoilers in this film. I spoil everything in this movie. So, if you don't want spoilers, go out, watch the film, then come back. You've been warned.
Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Ron HD. So yeah, this is going to be a great time. Hey guys, welcome back to an episode of Take It Tuesday. I'm Russell HD, and this week we watched In a Violent Nature. This is a new 2024 slasher film, but from the perspective of the slasher. And I found this film really, really good, like just really visceral, really ambient, really immersive, and overall just a really, really entertaining and really fun film to watch. Really original. And I just had a really good time, and I really, really liked this film. But before I go on a whole tangent about why I like this film, I'll tell you why I like this film and more. Back at the house.
Animals don't get too hung up on reason. They just keep killing.
Hey guys, and welcome back to an episode of Take It Tuesday. I'm Russell HD, and this week we watched In a Violent Nature, written and directed by Nash in his directorial debut. He was actually a special effects guy and a couple other stuff you might have heard of, like Psycho Gorman and other things. That's the main thing I know him from. Well, not know him from, but know what it is. Anyway, this film is a, slasher film, but not in the conventional sense. This film is a slasher from the perspective of the slasher. That's pretty neat, isn't it? This film that's very unique. I've never heard of a slasher film like this one, where it's from the perspective of the slasher. It's very slow moving. There's a lot of long takes. It takes its time. Even though the film is only 94 minutes, it's very slow and methodical, like The Killer. The pacing makes sense with the main character of the film, who is the slasher, right? And it's crazy. He's completely mute, and he's the main focus of the movie, and he's mute, right? It's but you can already tell his motivations, not just with what the other characters are saying, like the campers that he kills, but also you can tell by the wordless storytelling in himself, right? You can just tell what he wants and what he wants to do, from the beginning of the movie. And he's a kind of Jason adjacent type slasher, in the fact that he's just slow, lumbering, unbeatable, unstoppable, undead slasher who just brutally murders people, right? I will say the kills kind of felt like they felt like good old-fashioned slasher kills, right? Because, in a slasher film, you gotta have those inventive, gory, over-the-top kills, right? That are ridiculous and make no sense, but are fun, right? And in this movie, I will say, it has ridiculous kills in there. While I was kind of concerned at the beginning of the movie with the first kill, they don't exactly show it. I do think that was a good decision, because it kind of, made it a little eerier, kind of, a little more scary, because you don't actually see it. You just see the body, in the background. They never even focus on the body. They just, you can see it, in the corner, but you can't actually focus on it, which I like. I do like that. But the rest of the kills, what was it, a saw? What was the, where he used to kill the nerd guy? Was it a saw? Where he, had him up against a tree, and he, fucking sawed the top of his face open, off. It fell down, and he had, his top jaw here, and his top of his head fell off. That was pretty good. Then the most egregious kill was this girl. He punched a hole through her gut. She turned around to look at him somehow. I don't know how you'd even be able to move after getting a hole punched through your chest. But then he lodged his hook through her chest, right? And then he took it back. Then he, boom, got her in the head. Then he put his arm through the hole in her chest and stretched her head through the hole and then kicked her off a mountain. It's fucking ridiculous. It's great, But it's ridiculous. But it's classic slasher nonsense that I love, right? Slasher films don't need to make sense. They're slasher films. None of them make sense, right? But that kill was, I think, clearly the best kill in the movie. I don't think any other like kill in the film really lived up to it. But I mean, you always got that one kill that just is like the kill of the movie, and that was that. And then there was also there was that final kill of the movie where he axed this dude in the head and just kept axing him and axing him and axing him and axing him and axing him, and it just like he like went on and on and on for like 2 minutes. He was just straight up just fucking clobbering in his brain for like, I don't, maybe you guys can leave it down in the comments about why he was clobbering the shit out of that guy's brains. I don't know the exact reason as to why he was doing that, but good on you, man. Good on you. You speak your truth. But obviously there were other kills in the movie, but some of them were a little lamer than others because every slasher has the lame kills. But anyway, I'm getting a little off track. This film, I just think like it was so unique, as I said, because there's not even that much dialogue, right? Like the end of the film has the most dialogue than the entire film, than the entire previous amount of the last film, because a lot of dialogue is either in the background or it's like barely audible, right? And most of the shots focus on the killer, not the other characters, because obviously the killer is the main character, so obviously it's going to focus on him, right? But the thing that's cool about it is that it feels like there's like another movie going on alongside like what's going on with the slasher, right? Because it's like obviously like there's the subplot with the other characters. Yeah, there's like, it feels like there's another movie going on in the background with all these other characters, but the thing that's crazy is like you don't care about them, right? Like you don't care about any of the other characters because you don't know them, right? You're actually kind of rooting for the killer because you've been with him the entire movie, and you know he's not like just killing people for no reason. He's trying to get his necklace back, right? He's just trying to get his mother's necklace back, and when he gets the necklace back, he's done, right? He doesn't chase the girl. He just lets her go. He doesn't go after her. But also one thing I like about that at the end of the movie is that at the end, she thinks that, like, she's paranoid because she's, like, they stop the car because she's, like, bleeding and the person, she's, like, hitchhikes to escape and the person, like, wraps a belt around her leg to stop the bleeding. But, like, she's paranoid, but it kind of leads up to interpretation. Like, did he just let her go, or did they drive so far that he just couldn't catch up to her, right? It kind of leaves it up to interpretation. Was he going to come after her, or was he not? Was he just going after the necklace, or was it... Because they kind of bring that up in, like, a sentence with the driver that she's talking to has. She talks about how a bear attacked a friend of hers, and the bear, like, just killed things. Like, it didn't eat them. It just killed them. Because that's, like a thing, like a real thing with animals. Some predators just kill things because they can, right? And it brings it up. Is that what the killer was doing? Is that what was going on with the killer, right? Was he just killing things for no reason, or did he have a reason? Was it the necklace, or was he just using the necklace as an excuse? We don't really know. It leaves it up to the interpretation of the audience. I personally believe, because I like the killer, and he's the main character, and I was rooting for him, I believe he was doing it for the necklace, because realistically, he could have just chased her down and killed her, and then got the necklace, right? Because he has, like, a connection to the necklace. He knows where it is. Well, he can, like, sense it, I feel like. He can kind of sense the necklace, right? Like, he knows, not the exact location, but he knows in the vicinity, right? So he could have chased her down and killed her easily, but he didn't. He just wanted the necklace, right? And she dropped the necklace, and he's like, well, I got the necklace. I ain't good. So what? She got away. Also, she's the final girl, so of course she has to survive. It's a slasher film. But, yeah, overall, this film is incredibly unique. The shots, amazing. Like, as I said, the long takes, like, really I love the way they linger on a shot. You know, they zoom in, they zoom out. You know what I mean? The way that they focus on, like, seemingly meaningless things, but really they mean more to the scene than what you first think. Like, the shots are just very well done. I really like... Also, I love how quiet this movie is. There's no music. Like, this film does not have a soundtrack. Like, at all. It's all just the sounds of nature, or it's him walking, right? Or the sounds of him killing someone, or a sound of a machine. There's literally no music at all. And I love that. Because It's in the perspective of the killer, and I really like how just quiet it is, because it would be quiet. He doesn't talk, and he's just lumbering through the forest through like 30% of the movie, right? But I'm cool with that, because that's accurate. What else is a slasher gonna do? They're just looking for their next kill, right? So it makes sense. And I just really like just the ambience of this film. It's kind of eerie in a way, because you know he's about to fucking murder somebody. He's going to find somebody to fucking murder. And it like kind of is creepy, you know what I mean, with how calm the forest is, right? Because the forest isn't even really that scary. It's just a normal forest. But the ambience kind of settles in an unease, right? Because you know what's going to happen because you're following a force of nature. A force of nature. A force of nature that is the killer, right? And it's just really good. It's just really good. So, one final thing about this film is I heard there were some complaints about the final, like, 15 minutes or so of this film. Now, obviously, the entire film follows the slasher the entire time. It follows him the whole time, but in the final 15 minutes, it switches perspectives from the girl who gets away, as that I mentioned earlier. It follows her, and her getting away, and her getting hitchhiking, and, you know, getting in a woman's car, and her having, like, telling her a story, right? And people had this issue. It's like, oh, well, we wanted the whole movie to be about him, and, you know, why are they focusing on her or whatever. Now, I can understand where they're coming from, in the fact that, yeah, this film was advertised as about the killer, and realistically, it was about the killer. Her being the final 15 minutes doesn't change anything. I still think this film is, the main character is the killer. I do think the final 15 minutes, though, does add quite a bit. Like, it adds a question. The film makes you think with what, because the woman, the driver wasn't just telling a story to tell a story. Like, her telling that story meant something, because it was kind of saying, like, asking the question, why was the killer doing the things he was doing, right? That's why she told the story. Well, that's not why but that's why it was written in the movie, right? Is to give the audience the question in their mind, why was he doing it the way he was doing it? Was he just doing it for kicks? Was he doing it out of instinct? Did he do it for the necklace? Why was he killing these people? And it leaves it up to interpretation, and that's why that scene's there. And I think it's a nice way to end the movie, because what else was the ending going to be? Him taking the necklace and walking back to the fire tower? I mean, sure, you could have done that, but that feels like a little anticlimactic. You know, I mean, again, I can understand where they're coming from, but personally, I liked the final 15 minutes, and I liked the fact that, you know, there was a little extra writing in there. There was some clever little things in there, and made the audience think. You know, I love when movies make you think. And the last 15 minutes, it's suspenseful. It adds suspense. Because you could think it... Because I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. I was like, wait, is the killer going to come out? Is he going to kill both of them? Is there going to be no final girl? Is she going to die? Like, it really leaves it up to, like... It's like, oh my god. Oh my god. Like, it's suspenseful. Right? Because there's like, the door's open, and she's, like... As I said, like, putting a belt around her wound... And like they just have a long, super long shot of the forest, and it like makes you think: is he gonna come out? Is he in the forest? Will he kill them? And it just ends, right? It ends, and the final shot is of a street, and the street's empty. They got away, right? He didn't come back, or that's how I interpret it. I interpret it as he didn't kill them, and they got away. But I think that's great. I think suspense is necessary for a horror film. It adds tension, it adds horror, you know, it makes you scared, you know, and it adds horror in a horror movie, you know, so that's pretty necessary. But overall, I liked the ending. And another overall, I would really, really recommend this film. A horror fan, slasher fan, you know, thriller fan, kind of, because it is, like, really slow moving, kind of like a thriller, but mainly horror fans. This is a must-watch for indie horror fans. Absolutely go watch this film. It's amazing. If it's playing in a theater, watch it. If it's not, it's on Shudder. If you have that, you can watch it. And if not, just wait. Shudder usually releases Blu-rays, so just wait for the Blu-ray to come out, because it's genuinely a really, really good film. And with that being said, I think I'd rate this film an 8 out of 10. Really, really enjoyable. Would recommend it for any horror fan alike. And, yeah, I think that's what I need to say. I think that's my piece. So, guys, hope you like this video. Share with friends. Subscribe to notifications on. Comment down below how much you liked it. But you guys know how it goes. I didn't mean to say that. What I really meant to say is if you guys hated this video, unsubscribe, disubscribe in the comments. And I've been Runtime HD. Off to kill some campers.